Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to our Minnesota Discussions video. And in today's video, we have some great news. It has been confirmed. Minnesota is one of the mystery teams by the big guy, Buster Olney at ESPN Insider, where he published a piece on MLB.com. The Twins are pegged as a mystery team that could land either prized free agent Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. That is crazy. I just want to put this out there for the record. Looks like either the Twins watched my video and were like, hey, this guy actually makes some points, or I was the first one to report on it, I think. So that's great. But let's just jump into this one. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to cover some of the same points I did in that video, but now that it's confirmed, and it seems like we're trying to go after both players, I'll give you a little bit more insight about the teams trying to get him, the money issue again, and how this is going to really affect the Twins. So let's just jump right into it. We're going to start with the money. Again, this is what we talked about a little bit in the last video. So the Twins right now have a $90 to $95 million cap space. Not cap space, but like that's how much they've spent. And that is not a lot. That is literally like some of the lowest in the league, if not one of the absolute lowest in the league. And I don't know right now if it's because they just really can't find anybody to spend it on, or if they're trying to wait for Manny Machado and Bryce Harper. Like I've said, it doesn't make sense for them to not spend money, especially when they're this far under the cap space. They've spent $133 million for players in their cap space last year. And now that like players like Joe Mauer, Logan Morrison, a couple other players in the past, Lance Lynn, these guys who just got traded or retired, we've lost a lot of cap space there, or gained a lot of cap space there. So you've got these players now that we can go get. Like, we can spend some money on Nelson Cruz. We can up the contracts on Miguel Sano, Rosario, Gibson, all these guys for another year. And we're still this far under where we could be. I mean, Joe Mauer's contract was $23 million alone last year, so cut that off. Cruz is not even getting that much, $14 million. So really, you've moved away with the old, brought in the new, and we still have this much money. So it wouldn't make sense for the Twins to just be holding out this much money. Like, obviously they're trying to do something, and that's what I was speculating, is it doesn't make sense for the Twins to just not spend $30 million. Like, if we look at Bryce Harper and what he wanted in a contract, he wanted $500 million over 10 years. That's $50 million a year. He is not going to get that. I tell you, I think the Nationals even offered him, a $400 million contract for 7 to 10 years, something like that, and he turned it down. So he wants more, but the longer he holds out, it's going to drop, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But he wanted $500 million when he was back in his prime, 2 years ago. Not that he's not in his prime right now. That's not what I'm trying to say, but when he was hitting, 300 and still hitting 40 home runs a year, it last, 2 seasons before 2018, that's when, $500 million seems like a reasonable deal. I'm not sure what Manny Machado is wanting. I haven't really seen a lot of numbers go on his way about what he's looking for. I'm assuming he would want, a 5 to 10 year deal, being pretty young. I think, what is he, 26? So, 5 to 10 years would be great for him. And again, if he could get, $300 million for 10 years, what is that? $30 million. Now, I think that's ridiculous to pay a player, but, Joe Mauer got 23, and was he really worth 23? Probably not worth 23, but definitely up there. So, to pay somebody like Manny Machado $20 to $30 million a year, I don't think would be too far out there for the Twins. Like I said, I don't really agree with that, but if that's what his price is worth, and that's what we are willing to pay for him, it works. So this is what I was trying to say just a moment ago, is the longer these players hold out, the less money they're probably going to get. So if Bryce Harper is holding out, I want $500 million, $500 million, $500 million, but he wants to play baseball, it's kind of like the Le'Veon Bell situation. He's like, I deserve this much money. and the Steelers did not want to offer it to him, so he didn't play. I don't think that's how Bryce Harper operates. I think he likes the game. I think he wants to be in the game. But, you know, his price is going to slowly drop, and instead of $500 million, he's getting $400 million. And then because he didn't do so hot last year, he's getting $300 million. And, you know, not that that's not a ridiculous amount of money, but these players are just, their value is going to slowly drop as the season gets closer, and those are things that the Twins are definitely in favor of, because instead of paying Machado and Harper $50 million a year, $30 million a year, if they could get them for $20 million a year, it's going to help them a lot. And like I said, the Twins have this kind of money now. I think they're just holding out for a player like Manny Machado and Bryce Harper. It would make a lot of sense for them to go spend this amount of money right now and fill up their cap space, because it doesn't look like, and I'll get to this right after this, but it doesn't look like there's a lot more the Twins could do besides maybe a little bit more at the pitching level. But even if you go spend $25 million on Machado, you're still about $5 million under the cap space. Boom, go pick up another pitcher for $5 million. Just simple as that. So let's get into this. Like I said with Harper and the Twins, is it the Twins have a fairly solid defense. They have a fairly solid lineup. I mean, obviously, a couple of things can be changed, but for the most part, their defense is solid, especially in the outfield, and really their lineup is pretty good too. I mean, this would be a great pickup for the Twins in regards to, he's a power hitting left-hander. He's basically Rosario. He kind of has a similar swing to Rosario as well, but you know, where do you put him? Do you take Kepler out, even though he's a lefty too? It would just trade power for contact, I guess. Obviously, it would be way better for the Twins to use Harper instead of Kepler in right field. I'm a big Kepler fan, but it would make way more sense if we wanted to spend this much money on Harper to go have him play. But with that being said, I don't think the Twins will go get him because our outfield is pretty good. Unless we moved Kepler over to center field and then just got rid of Cave, which would be kind of sad, because let's just assume Buxton stays hurt or just kind of sucks. We move Kepler over to center. He's played there a little bit before, or even Rosario. You know, you can fix around the outfield. But Kepler goes to center, Bryce Harper goes to right. I mean, it does make sense. You know, sorry, Cave. I really like Cave, but, you know, sorry. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Again, with the Manny Machado stuff, this one I think seems more likely, especially now that there are talks confirmed about him. You know, what we're gonna do if we sign Manny Machado is say either sorry CJ Cron or sorry Jonathan Scope, probably, so, or Polanco. So here's my thing about this one is, you know, if we get Manny Machado when he wants to play short, either move Polanco over to second or say sorry Polanco, you're out, which I don't think would be a bad idea. I think Polanco has some trade value. If we want to trade him for a couple prospects, you know, maybe it might work. Or we just move him over to second, say sorry Scope, and trade him for prospects or something. But I really like the idea of him playing third more, move Sano over to first, and get some value out of CJ Cron. I don't think we need another lefty power hitter, especially if we go get Machado, who can hit for power, speed. Well, he's not fast, but contact, power, and you know, great defense. So I think that would make a lot more sense, and we can obviously trade these guys in their prime. You know, even if we wanted to trade Sano, which I don't think we would, I really like keeping him over at first base, but, you know, trade CJ Cron, get some trade value out of Polanco, Scope, it would make a lot of sense. So let's jump into the teams quickly that want to be part of this deal. Where is that at? It looks like the Astros and the Giants are potential suitors. The Yankees, obviously, Padres, Rangers, and Cubs. And then the Twins. So 8 teams that are looking to be in the running. So the Giants have sold off. They had a garbage season. They got rid of Bumgarner. They're getting rid of Bumgarner. They got rid of McCutchen. They do not have as solid of a team as they did, you know, a couple of years ago. They're holding on to Buster Posey, I think, for too long. They need to trade him away too. But the Giants are going in the wrong direction. I don't think they will go out and try to buy Harper or Machado and just rebounce it off of that. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The Twins are going in the right direction, you know, even after last season. But they're going in the right direction. It would make more sense to go for the Twins. The Yankees do not need him. I mean, they have Judge, Stanton. If they want to go get Harper, I mean, that's been in the talks. But they don't. How much money do they have? That's what I want to know, because it seems as if they can get everybody, and their bullpen is, has every big name leaguer closer in the entire league. I don't think the Yankees are going to go do it. Same with Machado. They have Didi Gregorius. They just signed Tulowitzki. I don't think that makes sense. The Padres are actually a contender, I think. They have not spent a lot of money in the recent years. They're trying to rebuild. It would be an option. Do they go there? Maybe. Rangers are, nope, absolutely not, because they don't have, no, they're going in the wrong direction. The Cubs are interesting because I don't know about the Cubs, to be honest. I mean, who's out in right field? Hayward? Absolutely one of the worst right fielders in the entire league. It would make sense for Harper to go out there. I definitely think the Cubs could be in contention if they want to make another push for it. And obviously the Astros, they have a pretty good outfield. But, Reddick and Wright or whoever's out there, again, it would make sense for Harper to go to a winning team. And they have the money for it. So, in realistics, I see the Astros, the Yankees, the Padres, and the Cubs. I don't think the Twins are on the highest level, but they're in the talks. If they can steal one of them for, like I said, we're willing to pay that much. I think he'd go there, and that could really change the atmosphere for the Twins. It's not so much that maybe Manny Machado wants to go to the Twins. Like I said, he's probably not the best fit for the Twins, but if we offer him a lot of money, he could change the atmosphere there, and we could win some games. Obviously, the Astros are going to win more games. The Yankees are going to win more games. The Cubs are going to win more games than the Twins. Next year, probably they're going to be 100, 105 win teams. The Twins will probably be around an 80, 85, 90 win team. And while that might still be good enough for the playoffs, and even if Machado came, it would probably help a lot more. But if we offer him the money, that is what's going to bring him to Minnesota instead of maybe playing for the best team. But we do have a pretty good team, so, it's not off the table. And I speculate towards Machado more because, like what I said for Harper, is we have a pretty good outfield. But it's the same thing for Harper. If, we offer him a lot of money and we can move some guys around in the outfield, it's not so much, hey, the Twins are maybe not the most winning team in baseball. I mean, look, he was on the Nats last year, but it's like, hey, if we're going to offer you a lot of money, you better come to Minnesota, and then we'll win a World Series. So, hey, maybe on another video I'll talk about how we can get both. Just kidding, that's not going to happen. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different from the last one. A little bit more insight, a little bit more, the reason, the behind-the-scenes kind of action that's going on for the Twins instead of just this is my speculation on why he should come here, why they should come here. So that is the video for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like I said, though, this is confirmed now that the Twins are part of this whole Manny Machado free agent mystery team. They could get both. Let me know what you guys think now that this is confirmed, and I want to know your opinions down in the comments so we can have a discussion about it. That's all I got for you today. Make sure to come back tomorrow for another video, and we will see you then.